outs with lights and fans priced well below their original cost. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 10 to 4, and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's, near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Built Right, one location saves you money.
You gotta get to Built Right today.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
10:01, we're at 1 below. Sunny skies. We're only going to get up to 5 today. We've got wind chills 15 to 30 below. Very cold tonight with lows 10 below to 15 below, and those wind chills 25 to 35 below. Cold weather advisory in effect for today through noon Tuesday. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. Donald Trump will be sworn in as the 47th president of the United States this morning. Once he takes the oath of office, he'll officially become the second American president to serve 2 non-consecutive terms. Presidential historian Mark Updegrove tells ABC Trump returns to the White House with control of the party that controls Capitol Hill.
All the people in the GOP more or less owe their election to Donald Trump, or at least owe fealty to him because of the damage he could do to them by potentially being primaried if Donald Trump goes up against them.
Republican strategist Bill McCoshen's in Washington tells Wisconsin's Morning News what he expects to hear from the president-elect during his first speech today.
Be very determined. Unity, strength, and fairness are the themes of the speech, and I call it the NASCAR start. This is going to be all gas and no brakes. I expect somewhere around 200 executive orders just today alone.
President Biden issued sweeping pardons for several people whom Trump has singled out for possible prosecution, including members of the House January 6th investigation, former Trump Joint Chiefs Chair General Mark Milley, and Dr. Anthony Fauci. ABC News Chief Washington correspondent Jonathan Karl.
I spoke to Dr. Anthony Fauci, who is right there at the top of the list of pardons. He said that he didn't seek this, he didn't ask for it, that the White House first reached out late December about this, but he welcomes it because he knows that if he had faced prosecutions or even investigations, it would have consumed his family. It could have been very costly and very detrimental.
Miserably cold here. We have 1 day down, 2 more to go. Arctic air continues to spill into southeast Wisconsin with wind chills enhanced by a steady breeze from the northwest. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Tyler Moore says the worst of the cold arrives tomorrow morning when an extreme cold advisory takes effect for portions of our listening area.
North and west of Milwaukee, most of the counties including Jefferson, Dodge, Washington, Ozaukee, Sheboygan, and Fond du Lac. That will go in effect at midnight and continue until noon Tuesday for wind chills as low as 35 below, mainly north and west of Milwaukee.
For today, a cold weather advisory continues for all of southeast Wisconsin through noon tomorrow for wind chills of 20 to 30 degrees below zero. We'll have your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up in less than 5 minutes. 2 people lucky to be alive after a 2-car rollover crash in Kenosha County.
A Dodge Caravan and a pickup truck collided around noon Sunday near 31st Street and County Highway BD in the town of Brighton. Both ended up about 50 feet off the road, with one vehicle tossed onto its side and the other with severe front-end damage. 2 people are in the hospital but are expected to survive. A dog was also injured and taken to the vet for assessment. The cause of the crash remains under investigation this morning. So far, no one has been criminally charged. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Today's a stock market holiday. Equities and bond markets closed in observance of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Tomorrow brings fourth quarter results from Netflix. Other big names reporting Tuesday include United Airlines and Capital One. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:04.
Oh, boy, it's getting so expensive to dine out, but not at the Mine Chef restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The Mine Chef is family-owned, understands inflation hurts. Every Monday when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza absolutely free. Any size, any quantity. You buy one, get one free. Buy two, get two free. Buy 10 pizzas, get 10 free pizzas. Business owners, managers, bring in pizza for your hardworking employees and your key clients. They're going to love it because it's delicious pizza, and your second pizza's free, saving your company a ton of money. Bring your family in today for free pizza. Your kids will love that world-class game room. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and near EAA and Oshkosh, just off the interstate. Lots of seating, lots of close parking. No need to cook. Don't think about cleaning today. Mondays can be tough enough. Buy one pizza, get one free at the Mine Shaft. Plenty to take home for tomorrow. Desserts, and I love their desserts, are also buy one, get one free. Just walk in today for your free Monday pizza. MineshaftRestaurant.com.
Stop in and load up on great everyday essentials at Fleet Farm Stock-Up Sale, January 16th through the 29th. 40-pound bags of Morton Water Softener Salt are just $5.99. Superior hardwood fuel pellets are on sale for $5.49 a bag. And don't forget your backyard friends. 40-pound bags of black oil sunflower seed are just $14.99. Be sure to stock up on all your everyday favorites, all at the best prices, guaranteed, at Fleet Farm Stock-Up Sale.
It started with a prediction.
Gonna go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. 4 teams now remain with a shot at the Super Bowl title. It'll be the Kansas City Chiefs squaring off against the Buffalo Bills at Arrowhead next Sunday. In the NFC, the Philadelphia Eagles set to play the NFC East rival Washington Commanders at Lincoln Financial Field. Tonight in the College Football Playoff National Championship, it's number 7 Notre Dame taking on number 8 Ohio State. The Bucks extended their winning streak after blowing out the 76ers 123-109 from 5-serve. Bucks visit the Pelicans Wednesday night. The Badgers are in action tomorrow night against UCLA from Los Angeles. Badger Sports Updates sponsored by Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more. Take a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We have a stalled vehicle. This is going to be I-94 West, almost a mile beyond the ramp from Highway 100. It is off left.
This report sponsored by Exterior Pros and Baths. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation. Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. Visit extpros.com today.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. A cold weather advisory in effect for today through noon tomorrow. Wind chills of 20 to 30 below. An extreme cold warning into effect for areas north and west of Milwaukee from midnight tonight till noon Tuesday. For wind chills as low as 35 below. Sunny but very cold today with a high of 5. Those wind chills 15 to 30 below. Clear and cold tonight with overnight lows 10 below to 15 below inland and wind chills 25 to 35 below zero. Sunny, cold tomorrow, a high of 3. Scattered snow showers, breezy, a bit warmer Wednesday, high 23. Flurries possible on Thursday, a high of 26. And mostly sunny Friday with a high of 28. 3 below in Madison, 4 below in Green Bay, now 1 below in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
We like to do things by the numbers. We're all about commerce and community. Welcome to the Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs. Now for the host that's always on the upswing, Jeff Sherman.
Now, to business, gentlemen.
Good morning, Wisconsin. Good morning, Milwaukee. Happy Monday. It is Monday indeed. The markets are closed for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, but we will do our Monday market preview with Dave Spano, CEO at Annex Wealth Management. We're going to focus on the possible impacts of the new administration's policies to our money and our investments as we look at several of the first 100-day items on Trump's agenda. Later in the show, then, Lori Bowman is the Vice President of Marketing and Communications at the Marcus Performing Arts Center. Milwaukee has two long-standing celebrations for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. This morning's event is the 28th annual YMCA event at the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. And this afternoon's 41st annual celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s life happens at the Marcus Performing Arts Center right here in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. The theme for the event today is What Are You Doing for Others? Lori's going to tell us all about this long-standing event, what's happening, and give some insights as to what the Marcus Center is doing to bring people together with business and the arts and to rise us all up. As we do each and every morning, especially this beautiful Monday, let's go to Up.
Now it's time for the Two Up on the Upswing.
One of my favorite Dr. King quotes is, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? You may be looking for something to do today, volunteer-wise. It's a big day to get out and volunteer and give back to your community. This is really interesting. If you have a good eye on cursive writing, go to archives.org/citizen-archivist, and you can make contributions to the National Archives catalog to enhance access and discoverability of lost historical documents that need to be tagged and documented. The National Archives is brimming with all of these historical documents, many of them written in cursive, and some date back to more than 200 years. And some of these texts can be difficult to read and understand, particularly now because we just aren't taught cursive in schools anymore. That's why the National Archives is looking for volunteers who can help transcribe and organize many of its handwritten records. It's a citizen archivist program. Its goal is to unlock history and make digital documents more accessible. Really super easy to do. You just go to the site, you log in, you make an account, and you can scan documents, you can make changes, and you can provide your input. There's a Revolutionary War pension and bounty land warrant application on the site. There's so many interesting historical items. There's no application. You just pick a record. Doesn't have any. You don't have to read the. You read the instructions. You create an account. It's easy to do. Take a half hour out of the day today. Take an hour out of the day tomorrow, and contribute to history. All right, second up. It's cold out there, so if you want to get your daily walk or run in, I'm going to suggest the Pettit National Ice Center. Great track, 443-meter track. You can run or walk around the track. It's $4 to get in. You can buy a pack of 10 for $36. The Pettit National Ice Center, right out at Wisconsin State Fair Park, right off of 94 there. A great place. Get inside, get your walk or run in, get out of the cold, but make sure you're getting that exercise. Another note on the Pettit National Ice Center, the World Cup is coming to Milwaukee next weekend, January 31st through February 2nd. It's been nearly 20 years since the last World Cup was held in Milwaukee. We'll have top speed skaters from across the world competing in many different categories: mass start, team pursuit, team sprint. Great to have a wonderful Olympic venue right here in our community. Coming up next, Dave Spano, CEO at Annex Wealth Management. Dave and I will go through many of the items on Donald Trump's agenda for the first 100 days. This is The Upswing, and you're listening to WTMJ.
He's going to fire up a three for the win, and he hit it! Game time has arrived! He has done it again! Cash Money Middleton to the rescue! Lobs to Giannis, who flushes it in. Lillard, three-pointer for the lead! It's game time! Giannis takes it down the lane. He'll lay it in with another foul. Oh, baby! The Greek freak is unleashed.
The sound of the Bucks is here on the home of the Bucks, 620 WTMJ.
Be the MVP of gift giving with a Milwaukee Bucks gift card. From exhilarating Bucks experiences to unforgettable Fiserv Forum events, your gift card recipient can score tickets to Bucks games and other events through the Ticketmaster box office. Shop exclusive gear at the Bucks Pro Shop or get a favorite snack at Fiserv Forum's concessions. It's a win-win gift that lets them choose their experience. To purchase a gift card, visit bucks.com/giftcards.
Tell us a little bit about Innovative Signs.
We're located out in Waukesha. Where we are really focused mostly is manufacturing outdoor electrical signs.
You came to Horicon Bank. How do you think other local businesses can benefit?
When I call, Michelle picks up the phone, and when I email, she responds in a timely manner. A few years ago, I talked to my accountant about shopping around looking for a different bank just to get some alternatives, and he said, absolutely not. You're not going to like working for a big bank. They have a lot more regulations. So that's how we got involved with Cornerstone Bank. When Horicon purchased Cornerstone, we came along for the ride, and it's been great.
This is Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio. I'm reaching out with a message that's close to my heart. Devastating fires have ravaged the Los Angeles area, leaving families displaced, homes destroyed, and the community in need of help. Right now, you have the power to make a real difference. Your donation, big or small, can provide food, shelter, supplies, and much-needed support for those affected by the fires. If you are able to, please help those affected by the California wildfires and donate at www.lafoodbank.org/fire.
The work week is here. Let's begin with your Monday market preview with Jeff Sherman and Dave Spano.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman, joined on the phone by Dave Spano, CEO at Annex Wealth Management, as we monitor the inauguration of Donald Trump, seeing former presidents being introduced right now. Barack Obama getting a round of applause as he enters. Dave, happy Monday. How are you today?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Wish I was in Washington, D.C., but I am not.
No, yeah. Well, hey, we have lots of ways to monitor it. We will be monitoring it, of course, all day long here on WTMJ. I got the monitors in front of me as we talk, so I will keep us updated as we talk, Dave. I wanted to take time with you this morning, kind of go through many of the key points on the economic agenda for Donald Trump. A lot of them will have impacts on our money. Of course, we're going to start right off with tariffs. And you look at what Trump has vowed to do in terms of massive new tariffs, kind of eyeing a duty of 20% on all foreign goods and up to 60% or higher on goods coming from China. What will the impact on prices and the goods that we regularly purchase? What could that be?
Yeah, well, let's just assume that it is as he said it is. In other words, this is across-the-board, myopic change in all of these tariffs. I don't think that's the reality of what's really going to happen. He can do it by executive order, but I do believe, and I've said this before, that there is some negotiation going on. He's trying to apply some leverage.
Yeah.
And, what he did say, and his team did say this past week, is they're going to evaluate the relationships with China, Mexico, and Canada and find out if there are specific products, for example, that could have these tariffs applied to them. And not just across the board. If it was just this blind tariff across all three of our biggest trading partners, of course it would be detrimental. But if it is specific towards a product or an industry, and that, of course, drives changed behavior. Changed behavior would be perhaps that people buy domestically here in the United States instead. That possibly could be a positive.
What are some of those specific products that you think will be most affected?
Well, if you think about, for example, China is a big importer of electronics and machinery. Those could be things that are brought back to the United States. But you think about, ion batteries, that's a big category. But more importantly, you think about ag and agriculture, especially for us here in Wisconsin, right? That could drive behavior. So if some of those things come back to the United States, that's going to be part of it. But, what's interesting is, this happened during Trump 1.0, and people say, well, did prices go up? And you see what's happening with the currency rate. Remember, we talk about currencies, it's always in relation to another currency. So, for example, if it's with the euro and the United States dollar, you can see the change rate. You can see what's already happening with the Chinese yuan. It's down about 4%, almost exactly the amount that they were considering in a change. So you'll see a change in the currency as well. And so that is really important. And obviously the market has adjusted, at least with China already, because that's probably the only place that we really strongly believe there's going to be very directed tariffs. The rest of these, for example, could be, for Europe, Mexico, and Canada, they could be trying to negotiate for a different deal.
Yeah, and to your point, I mean, sometimes the tariffs can boost local manufacturing and agriculture segments, right?
Yeah, that is exactly, what you're trying to create. And you think about, China likes our cheese and our cranberries and our ginseng, right? So there are certain products that they're going to want. And, do we do that? Do we do that in exchange for something else? And this is going to roll into a bigger conversation. All the way from ginseng to TikTok will be part of this conversation because it's a piece of leverage. You have to remember Trump is a negotiator, right? And so he is trying to apply leverage. When that's what you do when you get into a negotiation. Where is his leverage? And that's what they're going to try to do. And it's going to be everything, again, from trading products to funding militaries in other countries.
Yeah, and on the other side, some of the countries may retaliate with their own tariffs, and then it is a continual back and forth and seeing where we want to land.
Yeah, and hopefully there isn't retaliatory, but if there is, again, the dollar can accommodate, in other words, change against the other countries. So you saw right away, when Trump said that to Canada. The Prime Minister of Canada got on a plane and flew down there. Now, obviously, he's not in that role anymore, but you're going to start to see some of that say, okay, we're willing to deal with you, Trump, again, with Mexico. I do believe maybe by the end of the day today that you might even see Remain in Mexico come out today. So there's going to be negotiations. It's whatever it is, as they said in the Wall Street Journal op-ed yesterday, buckle up, Buttercup, because it is going to be interesting over the next couple of years, especially not only the next 100 days, but particularly the next 2 years before there's another House election.
We are talking with Dave Spano, CEO at Annex Wealth Management. When we come back, are Trump and Fed Chair Jerome Powell on a collision course? This is The Upswing. You're listening to WTMJ.
Catch up on Wisconsin's midday news with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
It's not the extension of pumpkin spice season. No, it is not a maple cold foam cold brew with artichoke.
In the mornings, Greg will typically drink an iced coffee, a cold coffee. Gina does hot coffee, and then I do tea.
By listening to the Wisconsin's Midday News Podcast.
Darkness Retreat isn't for me. Ayahuasca's probably not for me.
Sponsored by Siding Unlimited.
Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra concertmaster Jinwoo Lee is the soloist in the tuneful and romantic violin concerto by Jean Sibelius, January 24th and 25th at the Bradley Symphony Center. Music director Ken David Mazur will lead the MSO in this program, which also features the tone poem Pan and Syrinx by Danish composer Carl Nielsen, as well as this searingly beautiful musical elegy Within Her Arms by British contemporary composer Anna Klein. Tchaikovsky's dazzling Romeo and Juliet rounds out this lush and dreamy program. Visit MSO.org for tickets and more information, or call the box office now at 414-291-7605. The number again for tickets is 414-291-7605.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Shopco Optical. Start the new year right. Use your vision benefits and schedule your annual comprehensive eye exam. You can check out new frame styles and order your annual supply of contact lenses all in one place. Shopco Optical is committed to quality eye care and will create personalized vision solutions tailored to your specific vision and lifestyle needs. New year, new you, new style. Call Shopco Optical or visit shopco.com to schedule an appointment at a location nearest you.
By now you've probably figured out what's most important to us at Semper Fi is our reputation. Building a great character-driven remodeling company is actually quite easy. It's just the first 20 years that are a bit challenging. Great companies are collections of great people, and we have great people. They're the ones that helped us build our reputation, but they only come after you've built something they want to be part of. We don't necessarily have to look for good people. They come to us. And that's what you want when you hire an exterior remodeling company. Someone who's going to stand behind their work, and a company that is truly proud of their people. And it's because they do great work. And when you're ready, we'll do great work for you too. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman, joined on the phone by Dave Spano, CEO at Annex Wealth Management, going through a bunch of the first several day economic initiatives of President Donald Trump. So, Dave, Trump's victory obviously has shaken things up in the Fed, and his economic agenda could very well spur some growth and maybe some additional inflation. Do you think him and Fed Chair Jerome Powell are on a bit of a collision course, and what do you think will happen there?
Yeah, they really are on a collision course. But what can Trump really do about it? I mean, the fact that they're supposed to be independent, and really that's been the way it's always been. And
right.
Can he apply pressure? Kind of, right? And will he do anything before Powell's term ends up in May 2026? Probably. He could just put pressure on him. And you think about Jerome Powell and where he came from. Before Powell, it was Janet Yellen was the chair there. Mm-hmm. Well, she became the Treasury Secretary. And so you can see the connection between the Fed chair and the Treasury Secretary. So Scott Bassett, who's taking over that role, can do some things, with the fiscal side and maybe not the monetary side, but that does put pressure on. In fact, right now you think about those two people that I'm talking about, Powell and Yellen, were doing things that were just in opposite directions. Powell was trying to pull things down by raising interest rates, and on the other side, Janet Yellen on the fiscal side kept putting money into the system. Well, that's inflationary. Those two things were counterintuitive, really. And so does Bassett do some things to slow down inflation while the Treasury is trying to lower rates? Because that's really what Trump wants. Mm-hmm. He wants lower rates. Why? Because it does a lot of things. It lowers the cost of borrowing, and that obviously pushes in lower interest rates, push up equity prices. So there's a lot in there. And remember that Trump, one of his scorecards is the stock market. So is he going to do something that is going to undo the equity markets? That's pretty unlikely, right? He's going to, he does often say this is where the value of the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones, and that's kind of a scorecard for him. So we'll have to watch how that works. But yeah, there's no question that he's not there right now because interest rates, and we might get a pause in interest rates, mm-hmm. In the first quarter, or for sure as we go into the year. One of the reasons Trump got elected is to bring down prices, and of course, how you do that, one of the ways that you do that is slowing inflation. And so, by lowering interest rate, that does not lower interest rate. In fact, it's supposed to accelerate the economy. So there's a lot going on. It's kind of complex. You can't look at it very myopically.
Yeah, and obviously there's another 25 basis point cut in December baked in. How do you look out a little bit further in terms of what could happen with interest rates?
Yeah, if you look at, there's kind of like a betting market right now of where they think interest rates are going to go. And, right now, the terminal rate, the rate that they may want to stop at is lower than where we are, but not by much. And so if you look at the betting markets, you'll see maybe at the most 100 basis points cut from where we are right now. That puts us around, 3.5%. So not a substantial difference. So even if all the rate cuts are implemented, which is not very likely, that is not a long ways away from where we are right now.
What do you think, just quickly here, are some of the goals around the proposed and enacted tax cuts?
Yeah, we think you're going to see a tax cut. Now, remember, those tax cuts are set to sunset. If he extends them, that is, if they don't sunset them, that's a tax hike. So I think it's very likely, folks, that you're going to see an extension, at least in a minimum of the tax sunset that we see right now. That taxes will continue at this rate for at least another 10 years. That's the plan.
All right. Thank you for your time this morning, Dave. It's appreciated.
Good. Talk to you soon. Thank you.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 10:30. ABC News and local headlines are coming up next.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Sherry Preston. The Capitol Rotunda is crowded with lawmakers, invited guests, celebrities, and friends and family of Donald Trump as he is sworn in for a second time. Earlier today, President Biden and the First Lady invited the Trumps back to the White House. And later today, President Trump says he will sign dozens of executive actions.
I spoke to President-elect Donald Trump by phone this weekend, and he made it very clear he wants to move very quickly on these executive orders just within hours of taking the oath of office. President-elect Donald Trump is expected to sign many of them right here in the Capital One Arena, which will take the place of that traditional inaugural parade that typically goes down Pennsylvania Avenue.
That's ABC senior congressional correspondent Rachel Scott in Washington. Before leaving office, President Biden preemptively pardoned Dr. Anthony Fauci, former Joint Chiefs of Staff Chair General Mark Milley, and those who served on the January 6th subcommittee. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time 10:31. I'm Connie Weber. An autopsy scheduled today after the body of an 80-year-old man found on a sidewalk on the city's south side early Sunday, 12th and Orchard. Medical examiner investigating the death as probable hypothermia. 4 community centers will serve as warming centers in Racine today. The Tyler Domer, Dr. John Bryan, Cesar Chavez, and Dr. Martin Luther King locations are open. Will stay open till 5. These will be open as warming centers only. No regularly scheduled activities. Tomorrow, the city's Department of Public Works suspending solid waste and recycling collection. The transfer station will be closed for public drop-off. 2 people lucky to be alive after a 2-car rollover crash in Kenosha County happened around noon Sunday near 31st and County Highway BD in the town of Brighton. Both vehicles ended up about 50 feet off the road. 2 people in the hospital but expected to survive. A dog was also hurt, taken to the vet for assessment. Cause of the crash remains under investigation and nobody was cited. Time for some news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. It is a holiday, so the markets are closed today. Trading will resume tomorrow. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Take a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Still a couple of stalled vehicles, but it looks like they are just blocking shoulders. They are not blocking any active lanes. One of them is I-94 West, almost a mile beyond the ramp from Highway 100. That one is off left. The other disabled vehicle on the ramp from Lannon Road to I-41 US 45 South. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Cold weather advisory in effect for today through noon tomorrow. Wind chills of 20 to 30 degrees below zero. An extreme cold warning into effect for areas north and west of the city of Milwaukee from midnight tonight till noon Tuesday. Wind chills as low as 35 below. We're looking at a high today of 5. Wind chills 15 to 30 below. Overnight lows tonight, 10 below Lakeside, 15 below inland with wind chills 25 to 35 below. Sunny, cold tomorrow with a high of 3. Scattered snow showers Wednesday, a little bit warmer, a high of 23. Flurries possible on Thursday, a high of 26. And sunshine on Friday, 28 for the high. 1 below in Madison, 4 below 0 in Green Bay, and 1 below in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:33.
No matter how many people are in your family, buying new jackets for the cold weather months can be expensive. But when you shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, prices on cold weather jackets will give you a sigh of relief because thrift store prices mean great deals. And right now we have a great selection. Find great deals on cold weather jackets for the family at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
Hi, this is Julie Coombs and Cindy Storm Fisher with Storm Fisher Investment Group. Are you a retiring professional worried about the direction of our economy, about making your money last? Come see what we can do for you. Let us show you how we take care of you to help you have a great retirement. We are at 262-796-8400 or stormfisher.com. See you soon.
Securities offered through Osaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Osaic Advisory Services LLC. Osaic Advisory. Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory are separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, and services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory.
Imagine all the things you dream of under one roof. You're thinking of eBay. Fashion, collectibles, car parts. It's all there. Go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
Welcome back to the Upswing. The Marcus Performing Arts Center has celebrated Dr. King's birthday annually since 1984. The Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. birthday celebration programming highlights our community, the youth in our community who interpret Dr. King's words through student contests and much more. Joining us on the phone is Lori Bowman, Vice President of Marketing and Communications at the Marcus Performing Arts Center. Lori, I appreciate your time this morning.
Oh, well, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate your time.
Of course. So I know it's a busy day there, gearing up for kind of the second of the big King Day events here in Milwaukee. I know in your past arts and cultural experience, you lived in St. Louis and Toronto. Compare a little bit what Milwaukee does in terms of remembering Dr. King and how we bring the community together as it compares to the other markets you've been in.
Well, I will tell you, Jeff, this has been the closest I've been to this type of event, and it is our event is one of only two that has been around since 1984, and we are very proud of this. When I lived in Toronto, that was a very international city. Mm-hmm. I only was there for a short time. St. Louis, I was there the longest. St. Louis, honestly, is a very divided city. It sees many challenges and certainly has racial makeup that is, these messages are so important. But really coming back to Milwaukee, I grew up in Wisconsin, and coming back to Milwaukee, this was one of my proudest things because Marcus Center really owns and lives this every day, looking for opportunities to really celebrate diversity and to keep these messages going. And this one is about the youth, and that is what is so important here.
Yeah, and especially on a day like today with Dr. Martin Luther King Day Jr. and the inauguration of Donald Trump. You're bringing together kind of the intersection of public and private and community and government. And that's what the Marcus Center is all about, bringing people together to celebrate the greater good.
Yes. I always say the arts bring people together, and that is our goal. The arts, I'll tell you what, talking about St. Louis, one of the proudest moments I ever had was We did things for the youth of writing exercises in the schools. And one of the students wrote back to us at one point and said, your program allowed me to dream bigger. And that is the sort of thing we hear with our Martin Luther King Jr. celebration. These children, and with the help of their teachers and their parents, they participate in writing, art, and speech contests. And it's always with a prompt of Dr. King's words. Mm-hmm. And this year being, what are you doing for others? And boy, what better timing could we have? It is so important. We can get so fractured these days and have so many competing things that take our attention. But what better timing than to think about what we can do for others?
Yeah, it's so important to see the world through the kids' eyes. I mean, that's something that we could all take to heart. Lori Bowman is the Vice President of Marketing and Communications at the Marcus Performing Arts Center. Lori, when we come back, I want to have you tell us all about today's program, where it is, what time, and we'll talk about a few of the people that are on the agenda for today's program at the Marcus Center for the Performing Arts here in beautiful downtown Milwaukee.
Thank you, Jeff.
Just like most cars and trucks can't run without oil, no person can function without food. That's why, through March 1st, the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee is contributing $1 from every oil change to Feeding America, Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has provided more than 2.6 million meals to people in southeast Wisconsin. And now, the need is greater than ever. Find a participating Adam dealer near you at adamm.com.
Founded by inventors, fueled by community, and focused on business. This is WTMJ's Jeff Sherman speaking on behalf of my good friends at Horicon Bank. Horicon Bank has been doing banking differently since 1896. How? Your financing requests, they can be approved in days. You don't have to wait weeks because your banker understands you and your business. Service and products go hand in hand, providing top-notch products to meet your cash flow needs. Horicon Bank, they get the job done. Together, doing good. That's their vision, and they're committed to doing what it takes to help your business grow. Horicon Bank, truly the natural choice. Member FDIC.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
Hey, this is Steve Scafidi for Advent. I had some snoring issues that kept my wife up at night. That led to poor sleep and a lot of tired mornings on the radio, and nobody wants that, trust me. Put it simply, my nose wasn't working the way it should. I decided to go to Advent for a quick 30-minute visit, one of their great facilities, talk to a bunch of their doctors. They really put me at ease. After a really simple sleep study at home, in my own bed, they determined the root cause of my problem had to do with my sinuses and nasal passages in my breathing triangle. I didn't even know I had a breathing triangle, so I went to see Advent. After a short procedure done in office, I'm back to breathing well, and my wife and I are both back to sleeping through the whole night. The best sleep we've ever had, that could be you. If you struggle with restless nights like I did, take the time to see how Advent can help. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your life and your nights a whole lot better, go to AdventKnows.com, schedule an appointment today. Because Advent knows, when you breathe well, you live better.
Namaste.
Dan, what are you doing?
Shh, you're harshing my mellow. Join me in some breathing exercises to chase away the chaos.
Let's focus on our clients, since we offer an exceptional way to control the chaos.
Inspired Closets can more than double your closet storage space.
And we don't over-design projects, sending you 3 beautiful designs to fit your price point.
Plus, our true lifetime warranty makes it a no-brainer.
Get started today at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Inspired Closets.
A wife and husband team.
Ready for a win? Well, it's your year. At Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you could win over $2,000 in free play every month, all year long. Just play your favorite games and you might take the stage in the It's Your Year game show. 25 winners each Thursday. There's $300,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs this January. Yeah, we think it's your year. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old to play.
Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right. And so just as I say we aren't going to let any dogs or water hoses turn us around, we aren't going to let any injunction turn us around.
Welcome back to the Upswing. The Marcus Performing Arts Center has celebrated Dr. King's birthday annually since 1984. Lori Bowman, the Vice President of Marketing and Communications, joins us on the phone. So, Lori, tell us all about the event today and what to expect.
Well, it begins at 4 p.m. in Eline Hall. That's our main performance area. It is free to attend, and there is free parking in our garage that is just across from the Marcus Center on State Street. And the highlights of the program are the celebration of all of the winners, the children who have participated in the arts, speech, and writing contest. And you'll hear from the winners of the speech contest. They'll be presenting their speeches. And then there's also remarks from elected officials and other artist groups that will be performing throughout the program.
And you have a special presentation of the Reverend Joseph Ellwanger Social Justice Award.
Yes. And this year, I mean, you before the break, you were talking about the coincidence of this falling on Inauguration Day. The two recipients are activists who sought for voting rights back in the Mississippi Delta in the 1960s. So part of this event is, inspiring students to think about these important words, and it's also very much a history lesson and keeping all of these important factors alive in people's minds.
All right. Thank you very much, Lori Bowman from the Marcus Performing Arts Center. Tonight's event begins at 4 p.m. right here in downtown Milwaukee. All the best with the event. It's always inspirational. And if you probably have off of work today, head downtown, get inspired at the Marcus Center. Thanks, Lori.
Yes. Love to have everyone. Thank you so much.
This is The Upswing, and you're listening to WTMJ.
We will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free.
Spend your midday with Wisconsin's Midday News.
I just know you can't see, smell, or taste radon.
No,
and it's important to know that.
And that's the problem here, right? Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty bring you the latest in news and sports.
Hospitals across the country are under strain as respiratory illnesses surge.
Breaking news, according to ESPN, Mike McCarthy is out as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
From 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., only on WTMJ.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Market Watcher Brian Wickert. Well, a lot of folks have buying a home on their New Year's resolution list, and while national news headlines talk about the inventory of homes for sale being a lot higher this year, I'm afraid that's just not the case in most of Wisconsin. So how do you make your offer stand out from the others so that someone else doesn't end up sleeping in your dream home? Well, it takes a team of a good real estate agent and a mortgage lender who has all the tools and techniques to help make your offer as attractive as possible in the eyes of that seller. Sure, you can go with a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval, or you can present your offer with an AccuNet, rock-solid, fully verified, and guaranteed pre-approval that might also come with the phrase that really makes sellers happy: no appraisal required. We'll also help you understand exactly what it means in dollars and cents if you do decide to offer over asking or give that seller some appraisal wiggle room. All you have to do to get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval is click on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
The Fox and Hound Supper Club in New Burtis is hiring bussers, food expos, and food runners. This is a great job for high school students. You'll make real money and always busy. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids and start next week. foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Perfect day on the ice, huh, Pat? Ice auger, fishing rod, portable generator, and that genius pizza oven. Pepperoni's ready.
For frozen lakes, toasty crusts, and everything in between, we've got the value you need to do things your way. Like $60 off a Milwaukee Drill Driver Combo Kit and select Nutrichomps dog chews, buy one, get one half price. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
At my company, we're always looking for people who are passionate and ready to work, but it's not always easy. It's time to broaden our horizons. In Wisconsin, about 600,000 people with disabilities are ready and able to work. People that just need you to believe in them and say yes.
And once you say yes, Thinkability Wisconsin will be there, providing transition and workforce support to help shape a better future for all. It all starts when you say yes. Join the movement at thinkabilitywi.org.
Some musical overtures have become more famous than the operas and ballets they introduced. This week on the Lutheran Hour, Dr. Leo Sanchez says John the Baptist is like an overture to Jesus, but John doesn't claim the spotlight for himself. Dr. Sanchez tells how John became the living voice sent by God to prepare the world for Jesus' lordship and salvation. This week on the Lutheran Hour.
Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. We are going to go to the inauguration of Donald Trump. Senator Amy Klobuchar from Minnesota is speaking right now.
So that America could withstand all the twists and turns of time. They wrote it to guide us and to preserve forever our right of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But as much as the truths and principles enshrined in our Constitution remain the same, our democracy promises the American people the power to change, to chart their own destiny. That's the beauty. That is the importance of democracy. It allows the endurance, the permanence of a nation through change. It allows nations like our United States both to avoid the obstacles and to seize the opportunities God has placed before us, all while staying true to our founding principles. Today is our country's 60th inauguration ceremony. Like all the others before it, it is a celebration of our right to set our uniquely American course. The past several years have been trying at times for many, many Americans, and also for the nations of the free world that we humbly strive to lead. In November, Americans chose again to steer this nation towards greatness, the secure, safe, and prosperous future that our founders envisioned for all of us. And today, we celebrate not only their decision to do so, but also the simple right and wisdom of a free people to make their own choice so that their nation might endure. And now, allow me to welcome Archbishop Timothy Dolan and Reverend Franklin Graham, who will deliver our invocation. Please rise.
As Archbishop Timothy Dolan takes the stage to deliver the invocation, Eric Bilstead joins us in studio. Eric, as we're monitoring the inauguration, you have some breaking news in terms of President Biden pardons.
Yeah, so the president just moments before President-elect Donald Trump will take the oath, President Biden has issued more pardons to his siblings and their spouses. This in the final minutes of his presidency. In a statement, it says, "My family's been subjected to unrelenting attacks and threats motivated solely by the desire to hurt me, the worst kind of partisan politics. Unfortunately, I have no reason to believe these attacks will end." So he pardoned his siblings, Valerie Biden Owens, Frances Biden, and James Biden, as well as Owens' husband and James Biden's wife. The issuance of these pardons, he goes on to say, should not be mistaken as an acknowledgement that they engaged in any wrongdoing, nor should acceptance be misconstrued as an admission of guilt for any offense. One reason for this could be, okay, you're protecting any possible retribution that had been suggested and talked about, and whether or not you're guilty or not, even having to protect yourself and legal up and lawyer up, that costs a lot of money. So it could be as simple as that. Now, some will say that there's something else going on here, but this happening just moments ago, just moments before the end of his presidency.
And we're watching the invocation by Cardinal Timothy Dolan, obviously formerly of Milwaukee. What can we expect in terms of possible changes here in Milwaukee and the Midwest with the new administration?
Well, there's lots of different things that you could maybe look toward. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about deportation of those who are in the country illegally and whether or not there's a target of certain cities. Milwaukee has been known to be a sanctuary city. So what will come of that? What will officers be expected? What will ICE be expected to be doing in certain areas? Will that even be something that makes its way to Milwaukee, or is that just something that's at the border to start? I know that among the many things he's expected to sign into an executive order have to do with border protection and illegal immigrants. So is it possible there's a connection there potentially, right? I mean, it's kind of a unique speculation at the moment just to see where everything goes to start. But it appears anyway that I think the term we heard earlier today on Wisconsin's Morning News was like a NASCAR start, where they intend on having the pedal all the way down.
Yes.
As soon as the lights go.
Yeah. Well, and to that reference, I mean, the future of infrastructure spending in the Milwaukee area could affect the economy too.
Yeah,
I mean, depending on what he wants to make, where he wants to make those targeted investments.
It's very interesting to see this taking place in the rotunda. It looks very cozy in there. It looks very snug. Obviously, it's not the largest. They do have several hundred people inside there, and they also have some VIP seating in the basketball arena nearby. But you don't have what normally would take place, which would be a large crowd outside in the mall, just because of the cold temps.
Yeah, much more compact environment. Almost seems like we're watching like a State of the Union speech.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, it
very
has
much
that
so.
flavor to it.
And a lot of speeches.
Yes.
A lot of speeches from a lot of folks before things get going.
Indeed. Well, always change and celebration, no matter what we do. Let's keep building. Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. One of the better Dr. Martin Luther King quotes. This is The Upswing. You're listening to WTMJ. Wisconsin's Midday News is up next. But first, business headlines.